My beloved child, even before you decided to hear these words, I already knew the weight you have been carrying in silence. I know the tiredness that no one notices, the questions you never had the courage to say out loud, and the nights when your heart remained awake while everyone believed you were okay. None of this has been hidden from me. I saw every tear that fell when no one was looking. I heard every prayer that seemed to find no answer. I stood by your side when you imagined you were walking alone. You think you are standing still, but I tell you that while your eyes saw only slowly, your roots were already growing in places you could not see. The seed never seems alive when it is underground, but it is precisely there that the greatest miracle happens. It is in the invisible that I strengthen that which will sustain all that is yet to be revealed. Perhaps you believed that I was silent. Perhaps you thought that I walked away because some answers did not come as you expected. But I tell you that my silence has never been absence. While you were waiting for a change around you, I was already restoring parts of your soul that had long been crying out for healing. As you looked at closed doors, I was already illuminating paths that your eyes could not yet perceive. My word says, "For I know the thoughts I think of you," says the Lord, "thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you the end you are waiting for." Jeremiah 29:11. I never stopped thinking about you. I never stopped taking care of every detail of his story. Even when everything seemed confusing, my hand remained sustaining its steps. As you listen to me now, I am already healing areas of your heart that you believed had no solution. I'm already pulling out lies that made you doubt your worth. I am already bringing light to places where there was only fear. You may not be able to feel all of this yet, but the invisible always begins before the visible. There's a reason why you've come to this message today. Nothing happened by chance. Before you even hit the button to hear these words, I had already prepared this meeting, and before this message ends, I will reveal something that your soul needs to remember, something that has always been in front of you, but that pain has tried to hide. Today, I will lead your heart to see that which has always been done by my hands. My beloved child, in this message I will reveal what your eyes could not see. What seemed like loss was cared for. What seemed like silence was my invisible action. I will lead your heart through a journey of understanding and show you that I have never abandoned you at any time. If this word has found you, declare your faith with me now. Write Amen in the comments and allow your soul to recognize my presence. I also want you to like this message and subscribe to continue receiving words that strengthen your journey. But don't go now, my son. Stay with me until the end, because in the last minutes of this message, I have something special to reveal to you. There is a truth that will illuminate your vision and make you understand that I was already working while you thought nothing was happening. Open your heart and allow my voice to reach the deepest places of your soul. My beloved child, you think that I have moved away because some answers have been slow and because some paths have been silent, but I tell you, I have never left you. I remained present in the days when your soul felt tired and in the moments when you looked to the sky looking for an answer that seemed not to arrive. You think that silence was abandonment, but I tell you that often silence is the place where I withdraw the excess noise so that you can finally hear my voice. I silence that which confused your mind, not to leave you lost, but to lead your heart back to the place where your soul finds rest in me. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. This is not just a sentence written in a book. It is a call for you to remember that I continue to rule even when your eyes cannot see movement. You look at the circumstances and believe that nothing is happening, but I see the roots growing under the earth. You think you are waiting for an answer, but I tell you, while you are waiting, I am already working in places where your vision does not reach. A seed does not make a noise when it breaks through the earth, but within it there is a life being prepared. So it is with you. There are transformations happening within your soul that have not yet reached your eyes. You think you've wasted time, but I tell you, I was restoring parts of you that were hurt along the way. I was touching memories that still caused pain, strengthening her faith that seemed small, and bringing light to thoughts that had long remained hidden. You may have asked me to change a situation, but I was revealing something deeper. Before changing the scenery, I was strengthening his heart so that it would not be destroyed by what was to come. Before opening a door, I was preparing your identity to walk through it. My son, not all silence means absence. Sometimes silence is where I find you away from the voices that have tried to define who you are. The world has said many things about you. People have left marks on your history, and even you yourself have believed words that did not come from me. But now I'm bringing back the remembrance of what I have always stated about you. I know you deeply. I know your weaknesses, your fears, and your doubts. But I also know the strength that I have placed within you. What you call emptiness, I call the space where my presence is filling. What you call the end, I see as the beginning of a new realization. Continue with me, because there are still truths that I need to reveal to your heart. There is something that you have interpreted in one way, but I want to show you the way I have always looked at this story. My son, if this word has touched your heart, write Amen in the comments, because this act of faith I hear. My beloved son, you think you have wasted time, but I tell you, I was preparing the ground. You look back at the days that have passed and see only closed doors, interrupted plans, and paths that seem to make no sense. But I was seeing that which your eyes could not reach. While you were asking why, I was already working in silence to protect your soul and prepare your steps. You think that delay was a punishment, but I tell you, often delay is a protection that you cannot yet understand. There are places you wanted to get to, but your soul wasn't ready to stay yet. There are doors that you wish to open, but I knew the dangers that were hidden behind them. Look at Joseph. He was in a prison, but I had not forgotten him. To human eyes, that place seemed like the end of his story. It seemed that his dreams had been buried between cold walls and difficult days. But I was turning that place into a prep room. The prison that seemed like a defeat was the path that led him to the purpose I had placed in him. You think you were stuck, but I tell you, I was strengthening your roots. You think you were standing still, but I tell you, I was building within you a structure that would support what your eyes had not yet seen. Joseph had to go through the process before he could reach the palace. He had to learn, mature, and remain faithful when no one was watching. Because true growth happens in secret. The root grows in the dark before the tree appears to everyone. So it is with you, my son. There are things that I am already forming in your life, but which have not yet fully revealed themselves. There are changes happening in your mind, in your heart, and in your way of seeing your own history. I'm transforming the way you interpret your pain. You think that what they have done to you has destroyed your dreams, but I tell you, no one can stop what I have planted within you. The word I have released about your life is greater than any circumstance that has tried to extinguish your hope. Joseph could have looked at his brothers and seen only a wound. He could have remained stuck in the past and carried bitterness in his heart. But the time came when he understood that I was above all that. Hence he declared, "You meant evil against me, but God made it good." Genesis 50:20. My son, I am already transforming meanings. What once seemed like a loss, I am revealing as learning. What seemed like a fall, I am using to strengthen your walk. What seemed like the end, I'm showing as a passage to something deeper. Don't just look at the door that is closed. Look at the roots that grew while you waited. Because there is a part of your history that I am already building in the invisible, and little by little, your eyes will begin to perceive what my hand has already accomplished. My son, write, Lord, I believe. And by liking this video, you take this word to another child who also needs to hear that he is not alone. My beloved child, after showing you that what seemed to be backwardness was often my protection, I now want to touch an even deeper place. The marks that you carried in silence. There are wounds that you have learned to hide so well that you even tried to convince yourself that they no longer hurt. But I know every part of your soul. Nothing remains hidden from my eyes. You think you need to hide your weaknesses from me. But I tell you, I already knew your pains before you could even name them. I saw the tears you held back so as not to show sadness. I saw the moments when you smiled on the outside as your soul asked for help on the inside. I saw when you kept walking, even though you felt that something in you was tired. You think your wounds are signs of defeat. But I tell you, they are places where my healing is already touching. Just as wounded ground can receive new seed and bear fruit again, so your soul can flourish after difficult seasons. I don't ignore your marks. I enter into them with my light. Many times you have tried to forget what hurt, but forgetting is not the same as being healed. That is why I am now touching the deepest roots of your history. Not to bring back the pain, but to take away the weight she left on his shoulders. You think you need to be strong all the time, but I tell you, true strength is born when you allow my presence to reach the places where you feel most fragile. I don't just love the part of you that's okay. I also love the tired, broken, and silent parts. My word says, I will heal your infidelity. I will willingly love you. Hosea 14:4. My love does not depend on your perfection. I'm not waiting for you to become complete and then bring me closer. I am already close, working within your soul, restoring that which time, words, and experiences have tried to destroy. You think that some memories define who you are, but I tell you, your story does not end with what hurt you. A tree can carry marks on its trunk and still continue to produce fruit. Your scars have no authority to erase the identity I have placed within you. I'm healing the way you look at yourself. I'm bringing back the understanding that you're not what happened to you. You are what I have declared about you. Before the pains, before the losses, and before the disappointments, I already knew your heart. Allow my voice to be greater than the voices that have tried to diminish you. Allow my light to reach the places where you have held fear, guilt, and sadness. I am already working where no one can see, because I do not only take care of your circumstances, I take care of your soul, my son. If you receive my healing and believe that I am restoring your heart, right, Lord, heal my soul. My dearly beloved child, I know the battles you have faced. I know the conversations that hurt your heart, the attitudes that disappointed you, and the situations where you felt you had to fend for yourself. I know how many times you've tried to understand why some people have acted against you and why certain paths have become more difficult than you imagine. But you think your greatest struggle is in people. But I tell you, there is something deeper going on beyond what your eyes can see. My word reveals, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Ephesians 6:12. My son, I am not saying that your pains were not real. I've seen every word that hurt you. I saw every rejection, every abandonment, and every moment when you felt like you weren't understood. But I want to reveal something to your soul. Often, the enemy tries to turn people into enemies to steal your peace, bind your heart to the past, and prevent you from seeing the purpose that I continue to build. You think you need to carry anger to protect yourself, but I tell you, what you hold in your heart can also arrest your own steps. Forgiveness does not change what happened, but it frees your soul to continue walking without carrying weights that were never meant for you to carry. You think you have to win every battle with your own hands, but I tell you, there are battles that I am already fighting for you in the unseen. While you try to answer words with words, I am working in silence. As you try to prove your worth, I already know who you are. See a seed under the ground. She doesn't fight the darkness around her. It simply remains connected to the source that sustains it. Even in the place where there seems to be no light, life continues to grow. So it is with you. Even in difficult environments, I continue to strengthen your roots. You think that some people have managed to destroy that which I have placed within you, but I tell you, no one can tear away a promise that I have planted in their soul. They may try to close doors, they may try to lower your voice, they may try to make you doubt yourself, but that which comes from me remains. I'm already touching your mind so that you see beyond appearances. I am already bringing discernment so that you do not react only by pain, but respond guided by wisdom. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every provocation deserves your response. Some victories happen when you choose to remain at peace. My son, I am teaching you to look with spiritual eyes, because when your vision changes, your heart rests. You begin to realize that I was protecting you from paths, conversations, and environments that could further wound your soul. Do not go now, my child. What follows has been kept especially for you, and it may be what will change what you believe about your future. My beloved child, after understanding that there are battles that take place beyond what your eyes can see, I want to show you something that has often hurt your heart, the doors that I have closed. I know some goodbyes hurt. I know that some closed paths have left questions within you. You looked at that closed door and thought you had missed an opportunity, but I tell you, in many moments, I was protecting you from something that your vision could not yet perceive. You think that every closed door means rejection, but I tell you, some closed doors are responses of love. A father does not give everything that a child asks for when he knows that it can hurt his future. I know the places you wanted to enter, the people you wanted to keep, and the paths you wanted to take. But I also know that which was hidden behind those doors. You think you have lost something important, but I tell you I was preserving something within you. There are environments that seem like opportunities, but carry weights that your soul would not bear at that moment. There are paths that seem like shortcuts, but they would take you away from what I am forming within you. Remember Joseph. He also saw doors close. He was taken away from his home, sold by his own brothers, and placed in a situation that seemed unfair. But I was closing paths that did not belong to his destiny. The door of immediate freedom was shut, but the door of purpose was being prepared. My son, not every loss is abandonment. Not every departure is a defeat. Sometimes I take something out of your hands because I am preventing it from taking the place that only I should occupy in your heart. My word says, "Behold, I have set before you an open door, and no one can shut it." Revelation 3:8. When I open a door, no human force can stop it. And when I close a door, it is not because I have forgotten you, but because I know the path that leads to true life. You think you need to understand all the reasons now, but I tell you, some answers come only when you look back and realize that what hurt the most was also what protected you the most. One day you will see with different eyes that door that I closed. You will realize that I was preventing a greater wound, preparing a greater maturity, and strengthening a deeper faith. I'm already working on your perception. I am already touching your heart so that you stop looking only at what has left your life and begin to realize what I have preserved within it. Because many times you have cried for the absence of something that I have removed, not realizing that I was guarding your peace. My child, trust in the path I am leading. My protection does not always look like what you expected. Sometimes my hand holds you just when I do not allow you to advance to a place that does not belong to your history. State in the comments, "I get that word," and by leaving your like, you help to take this message to another heart. My beloved child, many times you have asked me to show you a clear sign, something great that would confirm that I was close to you. You have waited for something extraordinary, an answer that leaves no doubt, a change so great that your eyes could not deny it. But you think that I can only speak through great events, but I tell you, often, my voice is in the small details that you have missed. I have already placed signs before you. I've already brought people at the right time. I have already put peace in places where there should be only fear. I've already broken small paths when everything seemed blocked. But your heart was so focused on what has not yet happened that you did not realize what I was already doing. You think that I am distant because you have not yet received the answer you expected. But I tell you, I am present even in the small movements of your journey. A seed does not start out as a tree. It starts small, hidden, almost invisible to the eye, but inside that little seed, there is already everything it needs to grow. So it is with my action in your life. You look for a whole forest, but I start by planting a single seed. You expect a great transformation, but I begin by touching a thought, healing a memory, strengthening a decision, and renewing a hope. My word says, "He who is faithful in a little is faithful also in much." Luke 16:10. I observe what you do with the little things because it is in them that your soul learns to recognize my presence. The little that you despise can be just the place where I am building something greater. You think that a small answer is not enough, but I tell you, a small light is already capable of overcoming a great darkness. A small flame can illuminate an entire room. A small seed can grow into a tree that offers shelter to many. My son, I know you wanted to see everything ready. I know that your soul desires to understand every detail of the path, but I am teaching you to see with the eyes of faith. Because those who only believe when they see miss many moments in which I am already acting. You think you need more proof to trust me, but I tell you, look back and realize how many times I have sustained you. How many times have you thought you couldn't keep going, but found the strength to take another step? How many times has a door opened at the last moment? How many times has a word arrived exactly when your soul needed it? None of this was a coincidence. I was present. I was taking care of it. I was guiding. I am already awakening your consciousness to perceive my presence in the details. I am teaching your heart to recognize that not every miracle comes with noise. Some miracles arrive in silence, like roots growing underground. Do not ignore the small answers that I put before you, because that which seems small to your eyes can carry the beginning of something that my hand is already forming. By liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become an instrument in my hands, helping this word reach those who need to hear the most, who have not been forgotten. My dearly beloved child, I know how many times fear has tried to speak louder within you. I know the nights when your mind created scenarios that never happened, and the times when your heart imagined that that difficult moment would be the end of your story. You looked at the circumstances and thought that everything was falling apart, but I tell you, often what seems like an end is just the transition to a new season. You think you are losing everything, but I tell you, I am removing that which cannot remain so that your soul may receive that which it really needs. Just as a tree loses its leaves in a certain season, not because it has died, but because it is preparing for a new cycle, some things also need to leave your life so that new fruits can be born. You think that change means abandonment, but I tell you, some changes are signs that I am leading you to a deeper place. I'm not just interested in changing what's around you. I am transforming that which is within you. Fear tried to convince you that the future was empty. It tried to make you believe that the closed doors were proof that I had forgotten your name. But I tell you, fear does not know the plans I have for you. Fear sees only the present moment. But I see the whole story. My word says, "For I know the thoughts I think of you," says the Lord. Thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you the end you are waiting for. Jeremiah 29:11. Before you saw any difficulty, I already knew the way. Before the storm came, I was already preparing shelter for your soul. You think you're going through a phase without purpose, but I tell you, nothing that passes through my hands is wasted. Even the difficult days carry hidden seeds. Even the tears you shed in silence watered parts of your heart that needed to bloom again. My son, I am already touching your mind to replace thoughts of fear with thoughts of trust. I'm already bringing light to places where anxiety has tried to create darkness. I'm already reminding your soul of a truth you can't forget. You've never walked alone. See the dawn. The night feels long while you're inside it. But the sun is already approaching even before the first rays appear. So too is my presence. Even when you don't see signs, I go on working. Even when you don't feel movement, I go on sustaining. You think you need to know all the details to have peace, but I tell you, true peace is born when you understand that I know the way, even when you don't. A child rests in his father's arms because he trusts, not because he understands every step of the journey. I am forming in you a deeper trust. I am strengthening your roots so that when the winds come, you will not be carried away by fear, but remain firm in the certainty that my hand continues over your life. There is someone in your heart now. Write that person's name in the comments. I hear every name you declare. My beloved child, after all that I have revealed to your heart so far, I want you to understand something even deeper. This message has not come to you just to bring comfort. It has come to remind you of who you really are. You have gone through times when they tried to erase your identity, but I have never failed to see the purpose I have placed within you. You think that you are only what you have lived, but I tell you, you are much more than your pains, your losses, and your difficult moments. Circumstances have tried to put names on you. Maybe they called you weak, incapable, someone who couldn't win. Perhaps even you yourself have begun to believe these voices. But I have never stated these words about your life. Before anyone knew his story, I already knew his heart. My word says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you came out of the womb, I sanctified you. Jeremiah 1:5. Before your mistakes, before your falls, and before your doubts, I already knew who you would be. You think you must find your worth in the things you achieve, but I tell you, your true identity is not born from what you possess, but from what I have placed within you. The world looks at results, appearances, and recognitions, but I look at the essence of your soul. My son, I am calling you back to a place that pain has tried to make you forget. I am calling you back to the awareness that you are loved, chosen, and cared for by me. Not because of what you can do, but because of the relationship I wish to have with you. You think you have strayed too far to return, but I tell you, there has never been a place where my presence could not reach you. Even in the ways where you have been lost, my hand has continued to search for your heart. Even when you have distanced yourself, I have continued to know your every thought. Imagine a seed stored inside the earth. For a long time, no one has seen its growth. It seems that nothing is happening, but within it there is a silent transformation. So it is with you. There are parts of your identity that I am already restoring, even if other people do not yet realize it. I'm already touching your mind so that you stop seeing your story only for the moments of pain. I am already bringing a new perception so that you understand that each phase has contributed to forming the person you are becoming in me. You think your story was marked by the difficult chapters, but I tell you, I am still revealing pages that you did not know. What seemed like an interruption was a preparation. What seemed like a loss was an opportunity for me to show that your life was never out of my hands. My son, remember, your identity is not in what was taken from you. Your identity is in that which I planted within you even before your journey began. Do not stop now, my child. What comes in the next few minutes may be the answer you've been seeking for so long, and I've saved it for this very moment. My beloved child, after remembering who you really are in me, I want to show you something that happens in places where your eyes cannot yet reach. You think that your roots are stuck in suffering, but I tell you, they are already reaching waters that you cannot see. You look at the surface of your life and see only what is happening around you. You see the difficulties, the losses, and the moments when it seems that nothing changes. But I see that which is hidden. I see the roots of your soul, going deeper, seeking a source that does not depend on circumstances. The tree that stands firm is not one that never faces heat, wind, or storm. It is the one that has deep roots. And many times you don't understand why you have gone through certain seasons. But I tell you, some experiences have not come to destroy you. They have come to deepen you. My word says, for he shall be like a tree planted by the waters, which spreadeth out its roots by the brook, and he is not afraid when the heat comes. Jeremiah 17:7-8. I have not promised a walk without difficult days, but I have promised a presence that sustains you in all of them. You think the desert has dried up your life, but I tell you, the desert has revealed where your true sources were. When everything around you lost security, you began to discover that your strength didn't just come from the things you owned, the people who were by your side, or the favorable circumstances. His strength came from me. You think you are just surviving, but I tell you, I am already strengthening parts of you that were once fragile. I'm already creating depth where there was instability before. I am already forming within you a faith that does not depend only on what your eyes can see. See a root growing underground. Nobody applauds her. No one notices your movements. It grows hidden, silently, facing the darkness of the ground. But it is precisely in this hidden place that she finds support to remain standing when the storm comes. So is your life. There are processes that no one understands. There are changes that no one notices. There are internal battles that only I know. But I am present in that secret place, touching your soul and strengthening your roots. You think you are buried by the problems, but I tell you, you are being planted in a place where your life can be given a new depth. The earth that seemed to choke the seed was the same place where it would find the strength to break through. I'm already working on your perception. I am teaching you not to measure my presence only by what happens outside, but by what I am transforming within. Because some of the greatest works I do begin in silence within the heart, before they appear to the eye. My son, stand firm. The roots I am strengthening in you are greater than the season you are going through. And what today seems hidden already carries within itself signs of a life that continues to grow. My dearly beloved child, I know that there are times when the silence seems too heavy. I know you look around for signs, answers, and confirmations, but all seems quiet. You think that when I do not respond in the way you expect, I am distant, but I tell you, silence has never been the proof of my absence. Often, it is in the silence that I am working in the deepest parts of your soul. You think that nothing is happening because you cannot see movement, but I tell you, there are works that I do in places where human eyes cannot reach. The root grows before the fruit appears. The seed transforms before breaking through the earth. And so it is with you. While you wait for a visible change, I am already working on that which no one can see. You think that silence is abandonment, but I tell you, it is in this place that I am rewriting your identity. I am removing thoughts that were not born of me. I am healing words that have marked your heart. I'm restoring the way you see yourself. For too long, you have allowed circumstances to define who you were. A loss made you believe you were incapable. A rejection made you believe you weren't important. A mistake made you believe that you didn't deserve to start over. But I tell you, none of these things have the authority to define the value I have placed within you. My word says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. I don't expect you to be strong alone. I'm not looking for a person who has never fallen, never cried, or never had doubts. I am forming someone who has learned to depend on my presence. You think that your weaknesses are reasons to hide from me, but I tell you, they are precisely the places where my grace finds space to work. When you recognize that you can't carry everything on your own, you make room to experience a strength that doesn't just come from your own capabilities. My son, I am already touching areas of your mind which have been wearied by worries. I am already bringing rest to thoughts that have run for too long. I'm already showing that you don't have to live stuck in the version of you that was born from the pains of the past. Imagine a stone being cut by the hands of a craftsman. To those looking from the outside, the blows look like destruction. But in the right hands, every touch has a purpose. So is the process you are living. I'm not breaking you. I am removing that which hid the beauty that I have placed within you. You think that you have lost your identity during the difficult days, but I tell you, it was precisely in those days that I preserved that which was most true in you. Silence did not erase his history. The silence revealed parts that needed to come back to me. Remain open-hearted because there are still layers of your life that I am bringing to light. What you have called emptiness, I am turning into a place of encounter with myself. That word didn't come to you by chance. Write in the comments, I trust God, and let that be your act of faith for me today. My beloved child, I know every path your feet have traveled. I know the roads you chose, the shortcuts you tried to take, and even the places where you stopped because you didn't know which direction to take. You think you have walked alone for all these years. But I tell you, every step you have taken was already before my eyes. You look back and see only decisions, mistakes, and moments of uncertainty. But I see a story being driven by my hands. You think that some paths were wastes of time, but I tell you, Even the difficult paths have taught your soul to recognize my voice. My word says, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." Proverbs 16:9. I wasn't just watching his walk from afar. I was present in the details that you didn't notice. I was sustaining you when your own strength seemed to run out. I was opening up understanding at times that seemed confusing. You think that you have made decisions on your own, and that everything depended only on your ability, but I tell you, many times my hand was guiding you through circumstances that you did not understand. A door that did not open, an unexpected encounter, a change of direction, a desire that was born within his heart. I was present in every detail. My son, there is a hidden beauty in the walk. A seed does not choose the place where it will be planted, but when it finds the prepared soil, it begins to reveal what it carried inside it. So is your life. Even when you didn't understand where you were, I already knew the purpose of that soil. You think that some moments delayed your story, but I tell you, I was using these moments to prepare your maturity. Because it is not enough to arrive at a destination. You have to be prepared to stay in it. I am not just leading your steps, I am forming your heart along the way. You think you have lost opportunities because certain things have not happened as you wish, but I tell you, some losses have been deliverances. Some pauses were protection. Some detours were paths that avoided wounds that you could not see at that moment. I am already touching your consciousness so that you see your story with new eyes. I am shedding light on memories that once carried guilt and showing that my presence was even in the chapters you would like to erase. My son, you didn't get here by chance. The path you took shaped your faith, strengthened your roots, and revealed parts of you that you may never have known. I was present in the days of joy, but I was also present in the days when you had to keep going even without understanding. You think you were just surviving, but I tell you I was preparing you. Every tear, every learning, and every fresh start was used to form a deeper version of who I created you to be. Don't see your journey only for what was missing or what went wrong. See also the presence that has never been missing. I was there when you started. I was there when you fell. I was there when you got up. And I continue to hold your hand while your story is still being revealed. My son, if you are here, it is because I have allowed it. I have something to reveal to you later today. Don't leave before you've heard what's next. My beloved son, I know that many times you have looked at your history and thought you wasted time. You looked at the years that passed, the opportunities that didn't happen, and the paths that seemed to lead nowhere. But I tell you, not a moment given into my hands has been wasted. Not a single tear fell without me having seen it. No prayer offered in silence has gone unnoticed before me. You think you have suffered without purpose, but I tell you, even pain carries seeds that can generate life. You look at the dark earth and think that the seed has disappeared, but I see the beginning of a new creation. What seems buried to your eyes is often being prepared by my hands. The seed does not understand the process while it is underground. She does not see the light of day, she does not feel the wind, and she does not contemplate the sky. But within it, there is a force that I have put in place to break through the darkness. So it is with you, my son. There are phases when you cannot see what is happening, but I am already working in the depths of your soul. You think your tears were signs of weakness, but I tell you, they were seeds watered before me. Each tear carried a prayer that you may not have been able to express with words. Each moment of pain revealed parts of your heart that needed to be touched by my presence. My word says, "Those who sow in tears will reap with joy." Psalm 120:5. I know the value of every tear you shed. For other people, maybe they were just hard times. But for me, each one of them was part of a process of transformation that took place in the invisible. You think the hard days have stolen your joy, but I tell you, I was using those days to build a joy that doesn't depend on circumstances. There is a peace that is born when the soul learns that it is not abandoned, even when the path seems uncertain. My son, I know that some wounds still remind you of moments that you would like to forget. I know there are questions that remain unanswered, but I'm showing you that your story isn't just defined by the painful chapters. I am revealing that even that which tried to break you was used to strengthen your roots. See a tree after a storm. Its branches may be scarred, its leaves may have fallen off, but its roots continue to hold its life. So it is with you. Perhaps some things have changed. Perhaps some people have left. Perhaps some dreams have taken another direction, but I continue to hold that which I have placed within you. You think you have wasted time waiting, but I tell you, I was preparing the ground. As you counted the days, I worked on your maturity. As you asked when your answer would come, I strengthened your heart to receive that which was being formed. I'm already transforming your view of the past. I am teaching you to look back, not only with pain, but also with gratitude, because you will begin to realize that my hand was present even in the moments that seemed most difficult. I've been good at your life in ways you haven't even noticed. Write in the comments, Amen, and proclaim with me my kindness to you, my dearly beloved son. I know that there are seasons in your life which have seemed too long. I know there were times when your soul felt like it was going through a winter where everything seemed silent, cold, and motionless. You looked around and found no signs of change. You've hoped for better days, but it seemed like spring would never come. But you think that the winter of your soul is the end, but I tell you, the dawn has already begun within you before it even appears on the horizon. Before the first light touches the earth, it is already being prepared in heaven. Before the flower appears, the root is already working underground. So it is with you, my son. There are changes that begin in the deep before they are revealed on the outside. I'm already touching places inside you that were tired. I am already renewing thoughts that have been dominated by fear. I am already awakening a hope that seemed dormant. You think that nothing is happening because you do not yet see the result, but I tell you, not everything that grows makes noise. A tree does not announce the moment when its roots go deeper. A seed does not reveal the instant when it begins to break its shell, but I see every invisible movement. My word says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Psalm 35. I don't ignore your night. I don't despise your tears. I know every moment when you needed to be strong, when inside you felt like giving up. But I also know the dawn, which is already being formed within you. You think that joy depends only on a change in circumstances, but I tell you, true transformation begins when your soul finds rest in me. Because when I change your view, the same scenario that once caused fear begins to reveal learning. My son, winter, has a function. It feels like a pause, but inside it, there are processes going on. The tree that stands firm during the cold is strengthening its roots. The field that seems empty is holding seeds that will still flourish. You think you have lost your strength during this season, but I tell you, you have only discovered a strength which you did not know you possessed. You stayed when you thought you couldn't. You kept walking when you didn't have all the answers, and in every step, I was sustaining you. I am already restoring your perception. I am teaching you not to measure my presence by the absence of problems, but by the assurance that I remain with you at all times. Night does not prevent the birth of day. Darkness cannot prevent the arrival of light. My child, do not allow the season you are living in to make you forget the promise I have placed within you. Winter is just a phase, not your identity. The cold is just a moment, not the destiny of your soul. I am already preparing new thoughts, new strengths, and a new understanding within you. The dawn that you hope to see outside has already begun to dawn within your heart. This message is not for everyone, my son. If you are here, it is because I have chosen you to hear what comes next. Are you ready? My beloved child, after so many times in which you have sought an answer, I want to reveal something to your heart. You think that you need to find my presence only in the great events, in the extraordinary moments, and in the signs that draw attention. But I tell you, many times I'm speaking to you in the details that your hasty eyes have missed. You wait for my voice to come like a great thunderclap. But often, I choose to speak like a gentle breeze that touches your soul. You seek something great, but I am present in that moment of peace that has come without explanation. I'm in that word that found your heart at the right time. I'm in that deliverance that you realized only later. My word says, after the fire came a still, gentle voice. 1 Kings 19:12. I showed this to Elijah because he needed to understand that my presence was not only in the strong manifestations, but also in the stillness. What changes your life doesn't always come with noise. Sometimes the greatest revelation comes quietly. You think I'm not answering because I haven't heard your prayer, but I tell you, I'm already talking in ways that your anxiety has tried to keep you from noticing. Haste makes you look for distant signs, while I am touching your heart in the nearest details. I'm already using small moments to awaken your awareness. A memory that came back to his mind. A peace that appeared in the midst of a difficult situation. A desire to start over. A strength that arose when you believed you had none left. All of this reveals that I am still present. You think you need greater proof to believe in me, but I tell you, often the proof is in what you have already received and have not recognized. The air you breathe, the opportunity to keep going, the ability to get up after difficult days, the hope that still lingers within you. There are signs of my goodness scattered throughout your walk. My word says, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John 10:27. My voice does not compete with the noise of the world. It reaches the deep places where your soul can recognize that which comes from me. My son, I am already touching your perception so that you learn to see beyond appearance. Not every open door is an answer. Not every easy path is direction. Not all silence is absence. I am teaching you to discern with a heart guided by my presence. Imagine a small light in a dark room. She doesn't need to light up the whole world to show the next step. It just reveals enough of the way for you to keep walking. So too is my direction for your life. I don't give away all the details at once because I'm teaching you how to walk with me. You think you need to know everything before you trust, but I tell you, confidence grows when you learn to recognize my voice even in the smallest moments. I'm closer than you think. I never stop talking. Perhaps you were just looking for my voice in places where I wasn't saying anything, while ignoring the little whispers of love that I have already placed before you. My dearly beloved child, I know the moments when you look within yourself and see only your limitations. I know the times when you felt small in the face of challenges, when your strength seemed insufficient, and when you thought you needed to hide your weaknesses to continue being accepted. But you think that your weakness drives me away, but I tell you, it is precisely in the places where you feel most fragile that my presence is already sustaining you. I never needed you to be perfect to be around you. I never expected you to carry all the weights yourself. I already know your limitations, and yet I continue to hold your hand. You think you need to show strength all the time, but I tell you, there's a strength that is born when you recognize that you need me. The heart that accepts to be cared for by me finds a support that does not depend only on its own capacity. My word says, fear not, for I am with thee. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I strengthen you and help you, and uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. Isaiah 41:10. I didn't say you'd never be afraid. I told you that you would never face fear alone. See a strong tree. That which holds its branches firm is not what everyone can see, but that which is hidden beneath the earth. It is the deep roots that support the tree when the winds come in. So it is with you. There is an invisible work going on within your soul. You think you are weak because you feel tired, but I tell you, tiredness does not mean that you have been abandoned. Sometimes it reveals that you have spent too much time trying to carry alone what you should have placed in my hands. I'm already touching the places where you were afraid. I am already strengthening thoughts that have been weakened by life's battles. I am already bringing rest to a soul that for too long has tried to find security only in its own strength. My son, I do not despise your tears. I don't ignore your insecurities. I don't walk away when you confess you're tired. Rather, it is at this moment that my grace reveals itself in a deeper way. You think your weakness is a barrier between us. But I tell you, it can become the place where you experience my presence most truly. Because when all other securities disappear, you find that I am still the rock that remains. Don't be ashamed of the parts of you that are still being restored. A tree does not grow strong in a single day. It needs time, care, and deep roots. And I am looking after the growth of your soul in every season. I'm already working on the invisible. Even when you don't notice change, I'm strengthening that which will sustain your next steps. What you call weakness, I am turning into dependence on me. What you call the boundary, I am using to reveal that my presence is sufficient. My son, remember, you do not stand because you have never been hurt. You remain because I remain the one who sustains you. There are so many other children of mine who need to hear this now. By liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become part of the chain that I use to bring my word to those who are on edge. My dearly beloved child, I know how many times you have looked back at your past and allowed it to speak louder than my voice. I know the memories that still try to come back, the words that marked your heart, and the moments that made you believe you could never change. But you think that your past still defines who you are, but I tell you, your past has no authority to write your future. I know everything that happened to you. I don't ignore their pains, I don't hide their mistakes, and I don't despise their history. But I also know that which I have put within you, before any fall, before any wound, and before any person tries to tell you who you should be. You think that is what they have done to you. But I tell you, you are what I have declared about you. The marks you carry tell a part of your story, but they are not the name I have written in your soul. My word says, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. Check Corinthians 5:17. I'm not just changing some areas of your life. I'm restoring the way you see yourself. You think you need to keep carrying old versions of yourself, but I tell you, I am already calling you by the name I wrote from the beginning. Before people knew their mistakes, I knew their purpose. Before anyone pointed out their flaws, I already knew their essence. My word says, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called you by your name. You are mine. Isaiah 43:1. My son, your name is not written on your losses. Your identity is not tied to the moments when you fell. You belong to me. Imagine a seed that has been hidden underground for a long time. Anyone who looks at the surface may think that nothing exists there, but I see the life that is still being formed. I see that which is growing in silence. So are you. People may look at a phase of your life and see only limitations, but I see what I am forming within you. You think you have missed your opportunity to start over, but I tell you, as long as there is life in you, my restoration continues to happen. I'm not limited by the time that has passed. I am not hindered by the mistakes you have made. I don't abandon a work because it has gone through difficulties. I am already touching your mind so that you will stop presenting yourself to me through your wounds. I'm healing the way you talk to yourself. I'm removing thoughts that made you believe it wasn't enough. My child, do not allow that which is left behind to steal the beauty of that which I am already building within you. The night you went through is not your name. The pain you felt is not your identity. My voice will always be greater than any voice that has tried to diminish you. I am revealing again who you are, not by the opinion of men, not by your most difficult moments, but by the love that I have placed on you from the beginning. My beloved child, I know that waiting is not always easy for you. I know there are times when time seems to pass too slowly and your heart asks why what you want hasn't happened yet. You look back at the days that have passed and feel like you're standing in the same place. But you think that waiting is an empty place. But I tell you, it is in it that I am strengthening your roots, so that the wind does not knock down what is already growing. You see waiting as the absence of movement, but I see it as a time of preparation. You look at the earth and think that nothing is happening because you don't see the seed growing, but I see the roots forming in silence. I see the structure that is being built within you. My son, not everything that is important happens quickly. There are things that need depth before they reach height. A tree that grows too fast without strong roots cannot withstand major storms. Therefore, before I allow some fruits to appear, I strengthen that which no one sees. You think you have wasted time, but I tell you, I was preparing the ground. Each moment of waiting was working on your maturity, on your faith, and on how you would see what I was putting before you. My word says, "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles." Isaiah 40:31. Waiting in me is never a place of abandonment.
It is a place where your strength is renewed and where your soul learns to stand firm even when circumstances have not yet changed. You think that the silence of these days means that I have forgotten your prayer, but I tell you,
I know the right time for everything. My word declares, He hath made all things beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:11. I'm not late. I haven't lost control of your story.
I'm working with a vision that you don't yet have. Imagine a root growing deeply before the tree offers shade. No one sees it, no one celebrates it, but without it the tree would not remain standing. So it is with you. There are parts of your life that I am strengthening away from people's eyes. You think you are waiting for a change outside of you, but I tell you, I am already transforming you inside.
I am teaching your heart to trust, your mind to rest, and your soul not to depend only on what can be seen. My son, some answers need to find a person prepared to receive them. Therefore, I do not only work at the door that will be opened, I work in the one who will pass through that door. I don't just prepare the way. I prepare your heart to walk in it. I'm already removing haste that could hurt you. I'm already healing expectations that put too much weight on your soul.
I am already showing that time in my hands is not a waste, it is care. The wait did not erase his history. Waiting is revealing a force you didn't know yet, and when the wind comes, you will understand why I allowed your roots to grow so deeply. If this video is providing answers you need to hear, write in the comments, "God cares for me," and prophesy this truth about your own life. My beloved child, after all that I have revealed to your heart,
I want you to understand something even deeper. The greatest change in your life does not begin in the things that are around you, but in the secret place where no one can look. You think that transformation needs to happen first in your circumstances. But I tell you, it has already begun within you, in the deepest place of your soul. You wait for a door to open, for a situation to change, or for something external to confirm that a new phase has arrived.
But I tell you, before changing the scenario, I am transforming the one who will walk through it. Before I surrender new paths, I prepare a new heart. My word says, "And I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you." Ezekiel 36:26.
I know the areas of your heart that have become hardened by life's experiences. I know the places where you have lost hope, where fear has taken root, and where disappointments have left deep scars. But I am already touching these areas with my presence. You think that change needs to be seen by everyone, but I tell you, the greatest transformations begin hidden. A seed does not announce when it begins to grow. A root does not ask for recognition as it goes deeper. But it is in this silence that life is being formed. My son, I am already working on you while you are still waiting for answers. I'm renewing your way of thinking. I'm healing your perception. I'm showing you that you don't have to continue to be attached to the person you've become because of the pain you've endured. You think your wounds are the end of your story, but I tell you, they can become places where my restoration reveals new strength. I don't waste any part of your walk. I use even that which seemed to destroy you to form a deeper faith and a consciousness closer to me. Imagine the dawn. Before the sun fully appears, the darkness already begins to lose its strength.
There's a transition happening before the eyes notice, so it is with your life. There are signs of a new season happening within you before circumstances show this change. You think you still need to become someone different to be loved by me, but I tell you, My love is precisely what is transforming you. I don't wait for your perfection to draw me closer. I approach to restore that which was broken. My word says, He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. Philippians 1:6. I don't start something in your life to abandon halfway. I continue to work on the details, the visible areas, and especially the areas that no one knows. My son, I am already forming within you a new understanding. What once caused only pain begins to reveal learning. What once seemed like a prison begins to reveal preparation.
What once seemed like silence begins to reveal my presence. Do not despise the process that happens inside you. It is from this deep place that the new dawns are born. It is from this invisible transformation that new thoughts, new choices, and a new way of walking arise. What comes next may be the exact signal you asked for. I saved it for this moment. Stay with me. My dearly beloved child, I know that there are pains that have made you question my presence. I know there were times when you looked at what was happening and thought, if God is with me, why am I going through this? But you think that your pain is the sign that I have abandoned you. But I tell you, some pains are not enough to destroy you. They are enough to reveal what was hidden within you. There are times when pain removes layers that you have created to survive. There are situations that reveal fears that were hidden, wounds that were never dealt with, and thoughts that you carried for a long time, not because I wish to hurt you, but because I wish to free you from all that has prevented your true life from appearing. You think I am taking something from you, but I tell you many times I am removing that which was preventing you from flourishing. Just as a farmer prunes the branches of a vine, not because he wishes to destroy it, but because he wishes it to bear more fruit, so I work in areas of his life that need to be transformed. My word says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch that bears fruit, he prunes that it may bear more fruit. John 15:1-2. I know the places where you grew up, but I also know the places where you need to be strengthened. I see that which produces life and that which only takes up space in your soul. You think that all loss means failure, but I tell you, some losses are deliverances. Some things need to get out of your hands so that you can receive something deeper. Some roots need to be removed so that new seeds can find room to grow. My son, I am not only interested in improving your appearance in front of people, I am working on the truth from within. I am touching your identity, your intentions, and your deepest thoughts. Because what remains hidden within you also influences the way you live. You think I am far away when I allow difficult processes, but I tell you, I am closer than ever. The potter does not abandon the clay while it is being molded. The craftsman does not throw away the piece because it is still in process. In the same way, I don't give up on you because there are areas that still need transformation. My word says, blessed is the man whom you rebuke, O Lord. Psalm 94:12. My correction is not born of rejection. It is born of love. When I reveal something that needs to change, it is not to condemn you. It is to lead you to greater freedom. I'm already bringing light to places you've tried to hide, even from yourself. I am already showing that some pains were not the end, but the beginning of a deeper healing. What you have called suffering, I am using as a way to reveal the person I have always seen. My child, allow my hand to continue working in you. Pruning may seem painful, but the life that is born afterwards reveals the purpose that was hidden in each process. And while I take away that which hinders your growth, I also strengthen that which I have planted within you, my beloved child. I know how many times you have stood before a closed door and felt your heart lose hope. I know what it's like to look at an opportunity that seemed perfect disappear before your eyes. I know what it's like to feel that a path was prepared for you and suddenly realize that it didn't continue as you imagined. But you think that closed doors prove that you have lost your way, but I tell you, not every closed door is a loss. Some doors that I close are answers that you still cannot understand. Some directions that seem good in your eyes do not carry what your soul really needs. You think you know exactly which way you should go, but I tell you your vision reaches only part of the road. I see what is hidden. I see what is beyond the curve. I see what your eyes cannot yet perceive. Therefore, sometimes my protection appears as an interruption. My son, you have ever wished to go into places that seemed to be blessings. But I knew the weights that were hidden there. You've held plans that seemed perfect, but I knew they could take you away from what I was forming within your heart. My word says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. I do not ask you to understand everything before trusting.
I ask that you allow my hand to guide your steps. You think you've missed an opportunity, but I tell you, maybe I've protected a part of your life that you didn't know you needed to protect yet. Sometimes you cry over a door that I have closed, while I am preparing a passage that you would never have found if that first door had remained open. See a seed being planted in a different soil than you expected. At first, he may think he is lost because he does not recognize that place. But it is precisely in that soil that its roots find the necessary nutrients to grow. So it is with you. You think you are in a strange place, but I tell you, I know the soil where I planted you. I know what experiences strengthen your soul. I know which environments make you grow. I know which paths bring you closer to the person I am forming. My word says, the steps of a good man are established by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Psalm 37:23. Your every step is before me. Even when you feel that you have lost your way, my hand continues to guide your walk. I'm already working on your perception so that you stop looking only at what has been closed and start seeing what is being built. I am already preparing new understandings within you. I'm already showing that some answers weren't in the door that closed, but in the root that grew during the wait. My son, trust the process. The absence of a door does not mean the absence of my presence. Often, as you look back at what has ended, I am already preparing what will continue your story. There is something in your heart that you have not yet given me completely. Write in the comments what you're uploading. It could be a word, a request, a name. My dearly beloved son, I know how many times you have tried to prove your worth. I know how many times you have sought recognition, waited for words of approval, and wished that someone would see what is inside you. I know the weight of trying to please people, of carrying expectations and feeling that you constantly need to show that you are capable. But you think you have to fight to prove your worth. But I tell you, your worth was never born from the opinion of men. Before anyone recognized you, I already knew your essence. Before anyone praised their achievements, I could already see the heart behind them. The world tries to convince you that your value lies in what you do, what you own, or how you are perceived by others. But I tell you, your identity was not created by the hands of the world. It was born from my word about you. My word says, for we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto good works, which God prepared for us to walk in them. Ephesians 2:10. You are not an accident. You are not a lost piece in a crowd. There is a mark of me in your life that no one can erase. You think you need to compare yourself to find out who you are, but I tell you, comparison robs you of the beauty of what I have already placed within you. A tree does not look at another tree, trying to figure out its value. Each one grows according to the life it has received. Each one has its own time, its own form, and its own mission. My son, I have not created you to live trying to achieve an image created by the expectations of others. I created you to live the truth that I planted within your soul. The world tries to shape your appearance, but I have restored your essence. You think that your mistakes have diminished your worth, but I tell you, your failures cannot erase the love I have for you. You think your difficult moments have defined your story. But I tell you, I am still revealing who you really are. My word declares, behold, what great love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called children of God. 1 John 3:1. Before you were known by any title, profession, or achievement, you were already known to me as a son. Imagine a jewel hidden in a stone. In the eyes of many, it looks like just an ordinary rock. But someone who knows their true worth can see what is hidden. Thus, I look at you.
I see beyond appearances. I see beyond the limitations. I see the beauty that you have often forgotten. I'm already restoring the way you see your own life. I am healing the need for approval that has tired your heart. I am showing that you do not need to chase after a value that you have already received from me. You think you need to convince the world of who you are, but I tell you, when you understand your identity in me, you stop living to prove and begin to live to fulfill that which I have placed within you. My son, remain in this truth. The voices around you may change, opinions may pass away, and circumstances may change, but that which I have declared about you remains forever. My beloved son, I know the parts of your heart that you have tried to hide. I know the times when you felt like you were too broken to go on, when you looked at your own weaknesses and thought they were signs of defeat. But you think brokenness weakens you, but I tell you, it is often in the broken heart that my light finds room to enter. You think you need to hide your cracks so that no one notices your pains, but I tell you, I am not afraid of the wounded parts of your soul. I don't walk away when I encounter sadness, fear, or fragility. Rather, it is in these places that my presence draws closer in a deeper way. The seed must break through its own shell so that the life hidden within it can appear. As long as it remains intact, it carries potential, but when it goes through the process of transformation, what was hidden begins to be born. So, it is with you. Some experiences have broken down old structures to reveal a life that was hidden within you. You think that what has broken can never be restored. But I tell you, I am an expert at turning pieces into new beginnings. I don't just see what's been broken. I see what can be born from my presence touching your story. My word says, "The Lord is near to them that are broken in heart, and saves them that are contrite in spirit." Psalm 34:18. I'm not distant when you cry. I'm not far away when your strength seems small. I am near, sustaining you in the places where no one else can reach. You think you need to come before me, showing only your strong part. But I tell you, I desire your true heart. I don't look for a perfect look. I look for an open heart to be transformed. My word also declares, the sacrifice to God is the broken spirit. A broken and contrite heart you shall not despise, O God. Psalm 51:17. That which you consider weakness may be the very place where your dependence on me becomes most profound. My son, I am already touching old wounds which you have carried for a long time. I'm already bringing healing to thoughts that made you believe it wasn't enough. I am already shedding my light on areas that have been hidden by shame and fear. You think your story has lost its beauty because there are marks on it, but I tell you, some brands tell stories of survival, restoration, and transformation. A broken ceramic in the right hands can become an even more valuable work. A life surrendered to me can reveal a beauty that would never appear without the process. Do not be afraid of the process that I am carrying out in you. I'm not destroying your identity. I am removing that which has prevented you from fully living that which I have placed within your heart. I'm already turning your brokenness into a place of encounter with me. I'm already showing that pain doesn't have to be the end of your story. It is often the way by which my light reaches places that were previously closed. You were reached because you were chosen. Write in the comments, "God has chosen me." And live that truth every day. My dearly beloved son, I know how many times you have spoken to me in silence and thought that your words have been lost on the way. I know the prayers you said with tears in your eyes, the requests you repeated many times, and the conversations you had with me when no one else knew what was going on inside your heart. You think that time has erased your prayers, but I tell you, no word released in faith disappears before me. That which you have given into my hands lives on, even when you don't see immediate response, even when it seems that the sky has fallen silent. I keep listening. You think that silence means forgetfulness, but I tell you, silence does not cancel out that which has been planted by faith. Just as a root grows underground before the first sprout appears, many responses begin to form in places your eyes can't yet reach.
My son, you look back at the time that has passed and ask why it hasn't happened yet. But I look at the process and see all that is being prepared. You see a delay, but I see a construction. You see absence, but I see roots growing. My word says, the prayer of a righteous man avails much in its effects. James 5:16. Every prayer that came out of your heart came before me. Every request made with sincerity has been known to me. I have not shed any tears, I have not ignored any words, and I have not forgotten a moment when you have sought my presence. You think you need to repeat your prayers because I didn't hear it the first time, but I tell you, I heard it from the beginning. Sometimes while you are waiting for a change around you, I am working out a transformation within you. Because some answers need to find a heart prepared to receive them. See a seed planted in the ground. For a while, nothing appears on the surface. Those who observe from the outside may think that nothing is happening, but inside the earth, there is movement. Life is being formed in secret. Such are the prayers you have given to me. I'm already working on details you don't know. I'm already aligning paths that you haven't noticed yet. I am already strengthening your faith so that you will not depend only on the moment you see the result, but trust the one who sustains the whole process. You think that your prayer has been forgotten because the answer did not come in your time, but I tell you, my time is not abandonment. My time carries purpose. I know the right time, the right way, and the right way. My word declares, my words shall not return to me void, but they will do what I please, and they will prosper in what I have sent them for. Isaiah 55:11. What I release has destiny. What I promise has purpose. What I start, I lead. My child, do not allow delay to make you doubt what I have heard. I am taking care of the seeds you have planted in prayer. I am working in the unseen, where the greatest changes begin before they are revealed. Maybe you've been waiting for an answer for a long time, and this message has been chosen by me to reveal something profound to you. Stay, my beloved child. I want to reveal something to your heart that you often forget. What your eyes can see does not represent everything that is happening around you. You think that you are surrounded only by the circumstances, the problems, and the limitations that appear before you. But I tell you, there is an invisible world sustaining your walk. You look back at the times when you felt alone and believed that you had to face everything without help. But I tell you, there have been many times when my hand has protected you without you realizing it. There were paths that you did not follow because I was directing your steps. There were situations from which you were delivered before you even understood the danger that existed there. My word says, the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. Psalm 34:7. I take care of you in ways that your senses can't perceive. My protection does not always appear as something great and visible. Often, it comes as a silent deliverance, a door that has not opened, a decision that has changed at the last moment, or a direction that has been born within your heart. You think that everything depends only on what you can control, but I tell you, your life is in my hands. You make plans, you make paths, and you try to understand every detail, but I am working beyond what your mind can achieve. My son, imagine a child walking down the road, holding his father's hand. She looks ahead and thinks she knows the way, but her father sees dangers that she cannot see. The father knows where there is an obstacle, where there is a risk, and where it is necessary to change direction. So I walk with you. You think some route changes were delays, but I tell you, many were protection. You think some losses were punishments, but I tell you, some were deliverances. You think you were just losing things, but I was preserving your life, your peace, and your purpose. My word also declares, for he will give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. Psalm 91:11. I do not abandon those who walk with me. Even when you don't realize it, there is care going on around you. I am already opening your perception to recognize my presence in the details. I'm already showing that not everything needs to be explained to be true. There are things that you don't see, but that are real. There is care that you do not realize, but that is present.
My child, do not allow fear to make you believe that you are unprotected. The storm may seem great in your eyes, but it will never be greater than my presence. The path may seem uncharted, but I continue to know every step. I am already strengthening your confidence so that you walk not only by what you see, but by the certainty that there is an invisible hand leading your story. The same God who cared for you yesterday continues to care for you today. This message has reached you, and it can reach other children of mine.
By subscribing to this channel and liking this video, you help my word reach more hearts. My beloved son, I know the marks you carry. I know the stories behind each scar, the moments that left marks on your soul, and the experiences that changed the way you looked at life.
I know the battles you faced when no one was looking, and the times you had to keep going, even though you felt like something inside you was broken. But you think your story has been defined by the scars, but I tell you, your scars are not your identity. They are just the testimony that you have gone through something and have remained standing because I have sustained you. You look at the marks and remember the pain, but I look at them and see the proof of my faithfulness. You remember the moment you fell, but I remember the moment my hand lifted you up. You remember the difficult night, but I remember that I remained with you till dawn. My son, a scar does not mean that the wound has won. A scar means that there has been healing. She reveals that something happened, but she also reveals that it had no power to completely destroy her life. You think that what you have suffered has taken away your beauty, but I tell you, some marks carry a depth that is only born through difficult processes. A tree that has faced strong winds has deeper roots. A person who has gone through storms can carry a wisdom that is not born on quiet days. My word says, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Romans 8:37. I didn't say you'd never face fights. I said the fights wouldn't have the final say on you. You think that the past has the power to imprison your soul, but I tell you, I am already restoring your vision of your own history. I'm showing you that you're not just what happened to you. You are also that which I have formed in you through every experience. Imagine the dawn after a long night. The light does not erase the fact that the night existed, but reveals that the darkness did not win. So it is with your life. I don't need to erase your past to show my work. I transform your story in such a way that what has tried to hurt you becomes a reminder of my presence. My word declares, He restores my soul. Lead me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Psalm 23:3. I don't just take care of your circumstances. I restore your soul. I touch the places where pain has left marks and give back hope where before there was only tiredness. You think your scars make you less worthy of love, but I tell you, they have never diminished the value I placed on you. I continue to see the son I know, the life I have formed, and the purpose I have planted within your heart. I'm already changing the way you look at what happened. What was once just a memory of suffering begins to turn into a testimony of overcoming. What once brought shame begins to reveal the strength that was born along the way. My son, no longer hide your story from me. I know each chapter, and I'm still writing new meanings about everything you've experienced. Pain was part of the journey, but it was never the final destination. My dearly beloved child, I know the times when you felt that I was silent. I know the questions that were born inside your heart when the answers didn't arrive in the time you expected. I know of the nights when you looked up at the sky, trying to understand if I was still hearing your voice. But you think that I am distant because I did not respond as I expected. But I tell you, my presence has never depended on your perception. I don't stop being close just because you can't feel it. I don't stop acting just because your eyes can't see yet. You measure my presence by the signs that appear before you. But I tell you, my presence is greater than any circumstance.
I was with you before the answer came. I was with you during the wait. I stay with you even when there are questions that have not yet been answered. My son, while you were seeking immediate answers, I was healing old questions that you didn't even know you carried. Some questions were born from his wounds. Some insecurities were formed by experiences that marked his journey. And Before I answered what you asked, I was dealing with that which needed to be restored within you. You think you just needed a change around you, but I tell you often the greatest transformation begins within the soul. Because an external response can bring relief for a moment, but an inner healing brings a new way of looking at life. My word says, I will never leave you, I will never forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. This promise does not depend on your feelings. It does not depend on the good days or the hard days. It remains because it is grounded in who I am. You think silence means that I have forgotten your name, but I tell you I know every detail of your story. My word declares, before there is a word in thy mouth, behold, I know it all. Psalm 139:4. Before you explain your pain, I already know the root of it. Before you find words for your prayer, I already know your heart's desire. My son, imagine a farmer tending to a seed underground. Those who observe from the outside may think that nothing is happening, but the farmer knows that there is life being formed in secret. So it is with you. There are processes that take place away from my eyes, but not away from my hands. I am already touching thoughts that for a long time have been dominated by doubt. I am already bringing peace to places where anxiety has tried to make a home. I am already showing that you do not need to understand all the details to trust my direction. You think you have to find all the answers to rest, but I tell you, sometimes rest comes before the answer. When your soul recognizes my presence, it finds security even in the midst of uncertainty. My son, I have never lost control of your story. What seems like silence to you continues to be cared for me. What seems like time for you remains purpose in my hands. Few get to this point in the message, my son, but you arrived, and that's no accident. What follows was reserved for those who persevered. My dearly beloved child, I know that many times you try to grasp all the details before you give your heart completely to me. I know that your mind looks for explanations, clear paths, and answers that make everything seem safe. You want to see the beginning, middle, and end of the road before you take the next step. But you think you need to understand everything in order to trust me. But I tell you, faith is not born when all mysteries are revealed. Faith is born when you choose to walk, knowing that I know what your eyes cannot yet reach. The roots do not see the tree. They will one day sustain. They grow hidden, in silence, without contemplating the fruits that are yet to come. They simply remain attached to the source that feeds their life. So it is with you. There are times when I am strengthening your roots before I allow you to see the fruits. You think you are standing still because you still do not see results, but I tell you, there is growth happening in the invisible. I'm strengthening your confidence. I am deepening your dependence on me. I am forming a faith that will not be destroyed by changing circumstances. My word says, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. Faith does not ignore reality, but sees a greater reality. She does not deny the challenges, but recognizes that there is a greater presence walking together. My son, you look at a seed and you don't see a tree. You look at a small root and you can't imagine the shade it will offer one day. But I see the hidden potential. I see what is being formed even before it appears. You think you need constant proof to keep believing, but I tell you, every step you take by faith strengthens your soul. Every time you choose to trust, even without understanding, something inside you grows. Each time you surrender your worries to me, your roots go deeper. My word declares, for we walk by faith and not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. I didn't call you to live stuck only to what your eyes can measure. I am teaching you to perceive my presence beyond appearances. Imagine a dark night where you carry a small light. You don't have to see the whole road to keep walking. The light only reveals the next step, but that's enough to move forward. So, too, is my direction for your life. I'm already touching your mind so that you stop seeking only control and start experiencing confidence. I'm already bringing rest to parts of your heart that have grown tired of trying to predict everything.
I am already showing that the unknown is not a place of abandonment when I am present. My son, I know the fate of the seeds I have planted within you. I know the fruit that will be born from experiences that today seem confusing. What you call uncertainty, I call space for faith to grow. Don't despise silent processes. Don't despise the days when it seems like nothing is happening.
Many of the greatest works that I do begin precisely where no one can see. My dearly beloved child, I want you to understand something profound at this time. You think that this message is just another word reaching your ears, but I tell you,
from the moment you have come this far, I am already awakening something within your soul.
There is a memory that the world tried to erase, a truth that the pains tried to hide, but that never ceased to exist within you. You think you are discovering something new, but I tell you, many times you are just remembering who you have always been in me. Before people's opinions, before the marks of life, and before circumstances tried to define you, I already knew your essence. My son, along the way, many voices tried to tell you who you were. Some came through hardships.
Others came through rejections, fears, and comparisons. Gradually, you began to look at yourself through these voices, and you forgot to look at yourself through my eyes. But I have never forgotten who you are. You think that your identity has been lost in the difficult times, but I tell you, that which I planted within you has never disappeared. It may have been hidden for a while, just as a seed remains underground before it breaks the surface, but life continued to exist. My word says, "Awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light." Ephesians 5:14. This awakening is not just about opening your eyes, it is about seeing anew that which I have already placed within you. It is allowing my light to reach places where doubt has cast shadows. You think you need to become someone completely different in order for me to come closer, but I tell you, I am restoring that which has always been within you. I'm not raising a person without a story. I am renewing a life that has gone through processes. I'm already tapping your mind to transform old thoughts. I'm already bringing clarity to areas where there was confusion. I am already revealing that you don't have to keep living stuck in the versions of you that were born of pain. My word declares, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. I know that many battles began in the thoughts. I know the words you have repeated about yourself for years. Therefore, I am bringing a new vision, a new consciousness, and a new way of seeing your own walk. Imagine a window, covered by the dust of time. The landscape on the other side had always been there, but the dirt prevented it from being seen clearly. When the light begins to come in, you realize that what seemed lost has never ceased to exist. So it happens to you. My light is revealing that which has been hidden behind the layers of fear, guilt, and insecurity. You think that you have come to this message by chance, but I tell you, there are meetings that take place at the right moment to awaken that which was dormant. I am calling your soul to remember that you are not defined by what you have faced, but by the love I have poured into your life. If this message is confirming what you already felt in your heart, write in the comments, "I trust in God's action." My beloved child, I know there have been times when you have looked at the weight and felt as if it was consuming your strength. I know you've counted the days, watched the time go by, and wondered when a change would finally happen. You looked at the desert around you and thought you were just surviving. But I tell you, as you counted the days, I was already transforming your soul. You think the wait was an empty period, but I tell you it was a place of encounter with me. It was in this silent time that I revealed parts of you that were hidden even from your own eyes. It was in this process that its roots began to seek deeper waters. The desert seemed like a place of absence, but I was using this soil to strengthen you. A tree that never faces strong winds does not develop deep roots. A plant that never needs to seek water beyond the surface does not learn to stand firm. So it is with your soul. You think the desert stole your life, but I tell you it revealed a force that was being formed within you. What seemed like a limitation became a place where their dependence on me grew.
My son, you expected me to change first that which was without, but I was working first on that which was within. You wanted a new season, but I was preparing a new heart to live that season. You were looking for an answer, but I was forming a new perception. My word says, "For the kingdom of God is within you." Luke 17:21. I don't just work on the circumstances around you. I work at the center of your existence. I touch your thoughts, strengthen your faith, and restore places in your soul that needed to breathe again. You think that my work happens only when a door opens, but I tell you, some of the greatest changes happen when no one notices. A root growing underground does not attract attention, but it supports everything that will appear later. I'm already touching your mind so that you can see your story with different eyes. I am showing that the wait was not an interruption, but a preparation. I'm revealing that the days that seemed slow were loaded with purpose. My word declares, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall rest under the shadow of the Almighty." Psalm 91:1. There is a place of rest that does not depend on circumstances. There is a security that does not come from what you can control, but from the certainty that I am still present. My son, you are not lost in the wilderness. You are being deepened. You are not abandoned in silence. You are being strengthened. You are not standing still while nothing happened. I was working on the most important parts of his life. Now you begin to understand that I have never worked only around you. I worked inside you. Because before transforming paths, I transform hearts. Before revealing new horizons, I strengthen those who will walk towards them. I am already giving birth within you a new consciousness, a different way of seeing the weight, the pain, and the process. What once seemed like a delay is beginning to reveal preparation. What once seemed empty begins to reveal my presence, my dearly beloved child. I know that for a long time you believed that the biggest change that needed to happen was what was around you. You thought your peace would come when a situation was resolved, when a door opened, or when a circumstance finally changed. But I tell you, the greatest revelation was not only to transform the scenario of your life, it was to transform the way your soul sees itself. You think you needed to first receive external answers to find rest, but I tell you, I have already planted light within you. Before the path became clear to your eyes, I began to illuminate the interior of your heart. Before you saw a new direction, I was already awakening a new perception. My son, many times you have searched outside for what I was building within. You looked for signs in the circumstances, but I was working on your consciousness. You sought a change in the environment, but I was bringing about a change in the way you walked through it. My word says, "The lamp of the body is the eyes, so that if your eyes are good, your whole body will have light." Matthew 6:22. I'm teaching you to see with fresh eyes. Because when your vision changes, what seemed impossible begins to reveal new meanings. You think that life needs to change in order for your soul to rest. But I tell you, when your soul finds my light, you begin to see life in a different way. The storm is still a storm, but it no longer rules your heart. The path continues to have challenges, but you no longer walk were dominated by fear. Imagine the dawn coming. Before the first rays illuminate the whole earth, the light has already begun to overcome the darkness. There is a moment when the day is rising, even if the night still seems present. So, it is with you. My truth is already awakening within you. My word declares, "For God, who said, 'Light shall shine out of darkness,' is the one who has shone in our hearts." 2 Corinthians 4:6. I am not only bringing light to the path before you, I am putting light within you so that you recognize the path. You think you're still trying to find who you are, but I tell you, I'm already revealing your true identity. The confusion is losing space. The old lies are being replaced by the truth. The voices that diminished you are losing strength in the face of what I have declared about your life. I'm already tapping your mind to renew thoughts that have been worn out by battles. I am already bringing clarity to memories that once carried only pain. I'm already showing you that you no longer need to live looking at yourself through the wounds you've received. My son, the greatest transformation does not only happen when the world around you changes. It happens when you discover that my presence is already within you, strengthening your soul and illuminating every step. You're not just waiting for a new reality to appear. You are already being transformed to see reality with a new consciousness. The light you were looking for outside began to be born within you, my dearly beloved child. I know that many times you believed that the greatest battle was going on around you. You looked at the circumstances, the difficulties, and the situations that tried to take away your peace, and you thought you had to overcome it all to finally rest. But I tell you, the greatest victory has already happened when your identity is no longer ruled by fear. You think you had to change everything around you first to feel safe, but I tell you, I started by winning the battle within you. Because when fear loses control over your mind, it loses the power to define your steps. My son, I know the times when fear has tried to convince you that you were too small, too weak, or unable to go on. I know the times when a voice inside you said that you couldn't get over it, that there would be no way out, or that your story would be marked only by difficulties. But this has never been the truth that I have written about you. You think your wounds defined who you are, but I tell you, I wrote your story before your wounds existed. Before the hard days came, I already knew your essence. Before the battles appeared, I already knew the purpose I had placed within you. The enemy tried to make you forget your worth. He tried to use his losses to erase his promises. It tried to make you look only at what was missing and forget what I had already placed within you. But I am restoring your spiritual memory. I'm reminding your soul of who you are. My word says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." 2 Timothy 1:7. Fear may touch your thoughts, but it has no authority to rule your heart. I have put in you a strength that does not depend only on your abilities. You think you need to be stronger to win, but I tell you, you just need to stay connected with me. A tree does not fight against the wind using its branches. It stands firm because its roots are deep. So are you. Your stability comes not from the absence of storms, but from the depth of your connection with me. I'm already tapping your mind to remove thoughts that were born out of insecurity. I'm already bringing clarity to places where doubt has tried to create confusion. I am already strengthening your consciousness so that you are no longer driven by fear of what might happen. My word declares, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. The truth that sets you free is not just information you learn. It is a reality that transforms the way you see yourself. You think that freedom will come when all problems disappear, but I tell you, true freedom begins when you understand that no problem is greater than what I have stated about your life. My son, I am forming within you a quiet courage. Not a courage that ignores difficulties, but a courage that knows that my presence remains even when the paths seem uncertain. In the next few minutes, my son, I will show you something that can be a direct sign from me for your life. Don't leave now, my dearly beloved child. I know that for a long time you imagined that the greatest answer I could deliver would be just a change in the path. You expected me to open a door, change a situation, or remove a difficulty that was before you. But I tell you, I was preparing something even deeper. I wasn't just preparing a new path. I was already preparing a new heart to go through it. You think that external change would solve everything. But I tell you, a new path with a heart still attached to the old wounds would only repeat old cycles. Therefore, before showing new horizons, I worked on its roots. Before I set new opportunities before your eyes, I strengthened that which would sustain your steps. My son, I know the parts of your heart that would needed to be transformed. I know the thoughts that limited your walk, the fears that influenced your choices, and the pains that made you look to the future with insecurity. I didn't ignore those areas. I entered them with my light. You think I was taking too long to act, but I tell you, I was preparing you not to lose what I would put in your hands. Because a blessing received by an unprepared heart can become a burden. A new path traveled without inner transformation can lead to old places. My word says, above all that must be guarded, guard your heart, for out of it come the springs of life. Proverbs 4:23. I was taking care of the fountain, I was dealing with what feeds your decisions, your thoughts, and your way of seeing your own history. You think I was just changing your circumstances, but I tell you I was changing the way you respond to them. I was teaching you not to react only by pain, but to walk by wisdom. I was showing that your identity does not depend only on what happens outside, but on what is established inside. Imagine a house built on a strong foundation. It can face winds, rains, and seasonal changes because there is a structure prepared to remain. So it is with you. I didn't just want to take you to a new place. I wanted to strengthen you to stay in it. My word declares, "Create in me, O God, a pure heart and renew in me a right spirit." Psalm 51:10. This is the cry of a soul that understands that true change begins within. I'm already touching deep areas of your heart. I am already removing old thoughts that do not match the person I am forming in you. I am already bringing a new sensitivity so that you perceive my direction more clearly. My son, do not despise the process that has prepared your roots. The tree does not complain about the time it grows underground, because it understands that its strength will be revealed when it reaches heaven. So is your life. The hidden period was not a waste, it was a preparation. You think you were waiting for the right path, but I tell you, I was preparing the right person to walk on it. The horizon you begin to see only makes sense because your heart has been strengthened to contemplate it. My dearly beloved child, I know that many times you look at your life and think that nothing has changed. You observe some struggle that still remain, some situations here that have not yet been resolved, and some areas that still seem to be waiting for an answer, but you think that nothing has happened because you still see challenges. But I tell you,
the tree does not stop growing just because its roots remain hidden. You look at what appears on the surface, but I see what is happening in the depths. You measure growth by what you can touch, what you can tell, and what you can show others. But I work first in the places where no one can observe. My son, a strong tree does not reveal all its growth at once. Before the fruits appear, the roots are strengthened. Before the branches reach the sky, there is a silent process going on under the earth. So it is with you.
There are transformations that have already happened within you, even if your eyes are still waiting for external signs. You think you are still in the same place, but I tell you, you are no longer the same person who started this journey. Look inside and notice. You faced things that once seemed impossible. You went through days that you thought you couldn't bear. You have learned to trust in places where there was only fear before. My word says we do not look at the things that are seen, but at the things that are not seen. For the things that are seen are temporal, and the things that are not seen are eternal.
2 Corinthians 4:18. I'm teaching you to look beyond the present moment, because what your eyes see today does not reveal all that I am already forming. You think you must first see and then believe, but I tell you, faith recognizes life before it appears. The seed does not wait to become a tree to start growing.
It grows because there is life inside it. I'm already touching your mind so that you stop measuring your story only by the difficulties that remain. I am already bringing a new perception so that you can also see what has been restored, strengthened, and transformed. My word declares, "Blessed is he who trusts in the Lord and whose trust is the Lord." Jeremiah Q17:7. True security is not born when all problems disappear. It is born when your heart understands that I continue to be present in all processes. My son, maybe you still see some areas waiting for a change, but I see roots that have already been strengthened. Perhaps you still see closed doors, but I see maturity being built. Perhaps you still see silence, but I see a work going on. Imagine a plant growing slowly in a garden. The gardener is not worried because growth does not happen before the eyes every second. He knows that there is an order, a time, and a process. So also I take care of you. I didn't miss any detail of his story. I haven't forgotten any promises, any requests, and no moments when you had to keep going, even without understanding. The invisible has already been transformed, and it is from it that everything that is yet to be seen will be born. My dearly beloved child, I know that when you heard the expression, "last message," perhaps your heart felt fear. Maybe you thought it would be a parting word, a warning that something was coming to an end. But I tell you, it is not the end of your hope. It's
The end of the voice that accused you, the lie that held your mind, and the identity that never belonged to you. You think you are coming to an end because some things are being shut down, but I tell you, some endings are doors to a new freedom. Not everything that ends is a loss. There are cycles that need to close so that your soul can finally walk without the weights it has carried for so long. My son, for many years you have heard voices that have tried to define who you were. Voices that reminded him of his mistakes, his failures, and his most difficult moments. Voices that said you weren't enough, that you couldn't change, and that your story would be limited by your past. But I have never spoken these words about you. You think you have to keep carrying the guilt to prove that you've learned, but I tell you, the guilt that imprisons you never comes from me. I correct to restore. I show ways to heal. I reveal wounds to heal. I never expose your pain to destroy you. I reveal to set you free. My word says, if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. John 8:36. The freedom I surrender is not just a change in circumstances. It is a transformation within the soul. This is when that which once dominated your thoughts begins to lose strength in the face of my truth. You think you have to fight everything that has happened, but I tell you, I am already breaking chains that you could not even see. I am already bringing light to hidden thoughts. I'm already showing that you no longer have to live stuck in the old versions of yourself. Imagine an old door being opened after many years closed. The light enters slowly and reveals an environment that had been dark for a long time. This is how it happens within you. My presence is reaching places that have been forgotten, bringing life to areas where fear has tried to linger. My word declares the old things are passed away, behold, all things have become new. Den, Corinthians 5:17. I'm not just improving a part of your story. I am giving birth to a new way of seeing, feeling, and walking. You think you need to go back to who you were before the pains, but I tell you, I am forming someone deeper than you were before. I don't erase your history. I transform the meaning of it. I am already touching your mind so that the old lies no longer have the same power. I am already strengthening your consciousness to recognize my voice above the voices that have tried to diminish you. My son, what is ending is not your life. It is not your promise, and it is not your purpose. What is ending is the darkness's dominion over your mind. It is the invisible prison that prevented you from seeing the freedom that I am already bringing. At the end of this message, you will feel my presence in a way that you may never have felt before. Stay with me until the end. My dearly beloved child, I know that many times you have waited for a great sign. You imagined that you would need to see something extraordinary happen to be sure that I was with you. You waited for an answer so clear that it left no room for doubt. But I tell you, the greatest sign has already been given when I sustained your faith in the days when you thought you could not continue. You think that the miracle needs to be something that everyone can see, but I tell you, there are miracles that happen in the silence of the soul. There are victories that begin when you simply find the strength to get up once more. There are answers that appear when you realize that you have remained standing even after facing what seemed impossible to bear. My son, look at your own history. How many times have you thought that you would not go through a certain phase? How many times did you believe that your strength had come to an end? And yet, here you are, breathing, walking, searching, continuing. You think it was only your ability that brought you here, but I tell you, my hand was supporting you at every step. When your strength waned, I was strengthening your inner self. When your hope became small, I was protecting the flame that still lingered within you. My word says, hitherto the Lord has helped us. 1 Samuel 7:12. This statement was not born of someone who never faced difficulties. It was born of one who looked back and recognized that they would not have made it to that point without my presence. You think the hard days proved that you were weak, but I tell you they revealed a strength that you didn't know you possessed. The storm didn't take root. It just revealed that they were already deep. My word declares, those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which is not shaken, but endures forever. Psalm 125:1. I didn't promise that no wind would blow against you.
I promised that you would not be destroyed, because your foundation would be established in me. Imagine a mountain in the face of storms. The winds may pass, the seasons may change, but it remains because its structure is established. So also I am strengthening your soul. I am forming within you a stability that does not depend only on circumstances. You think you have to wait for something to happen to be sure that I'm acting, but I tell you, look at the path you have already traveled. Look at the doors through which I have led you. Look at the times when you received strength, when you didn't know where it came from. I am already touching your mind so that you recognize the signs that were before you. I am already showing that my presence did not begin today. I was with you before this message, during every battle, and in every moment that you needed to keep going. My son, the fact that you are still standing reveals what I have already done in the unseen. Their abiding is a proof of my sustainment. Your faith, however small, reveals that I have never let the seed die within you. If this video came at the right time for you, write in the comments, "I believe, Lord," and declare that you're ready for this new phase. My dearly beloved child, I know that there are times when your soul reaches its limit. I know you looked at the walk and thought about giving up. I know of the times when you asked how long you would still need to wait, how much longer you would have to endure, and when you would finally see the change you have sought so much. But you think that the revelation is still before you, but I tell you, it has already begun the moment your heart has stopped fighting my will and has begun to rest in my hands. My son, there is a difference between waiting with fear and waiting with confidence. The waiting that hurts your soul is the one in which you try to carry alone that which you should have given to me. But when you surrender your path, something begins to change inside you even before circumstances change. You think that nothing has happened because you have not yet seen the door open, but I tell you, the greatest change has already begun in the place where no one can look. I am already renewing your soul. I'm already strengthening your faith. I am already preparing you to receive what you have asked for so long. My word says, commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will do everything. Psalm 37:5. I didn't ask you to carry the weight of the future. I asked Him to put the way in my hands. Because when you surrender, I begin to work in dimensions that your vision does not reach. My son, I see the weariness that you hide. I see that part of you that smiles on the outside, but on the inside asks if it's still worth continuing. I know the limit of your strength, and it is precisely in this place that I want to remind you. Your story did not end at the point where your hope almost ended. You think that delay means that nothing is happening, but I tell you, often the longest wait precedes the deepest transformation. A root that grows long underground is being prepared to support a larger tree. The silence before dawn does not mean that the sun has disappeared. It means that a new light is approaching. The night does not perceive the exact instant when it begins to disappear. She just slowly gives way until the morning reveals what was already happening. So it was with his soul. While you called it waiting, I called it preparation. While you called it backwardness, I called it ripening. My word declares, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:7. I am already putting a peace inside you that does not depend only on what is happening outside. My son, do not abandon now that which I am forming. Don't let go of hope just when your roots are deepest. There are processes that seem more intense near the change. There are times when the seed seems to remain hidden for a longer time before breaking through the earth. I'm closer than you think. I'm working while you rest. I'm preparing while you think you're waiting. And that which I have already begun within you will be revealed at the right time, because my hands never abandon a work that I myself have begun. My beloved child, I know that you have come to this moment carrying many questions within your heart. You looked at your journey, remembered the difficult days, and tried to understand how you got here. But you think you have reached the end of this message. But I tell you, you have come to the encounter with a truth that I had already planted in your spirit from the beginning. The truth you needed to remember was never far away. It was being awakened within you as you listened to my voice.
You are not discovering an unknown path. You are recognizing that which I have always known about you. My son, now you understand that you have never been forgotten. It has never been out of my hands. He has never walked without my presence, even in the moments when you didn't feel anything. I was there.
Even when your vision was limited by pain, I continued to see the purpose I placed within you. You think your mistakes have defined your worth, but I tell you, you are not the end product of your failures. You are not the sum of your downfalls. You are not the result of the words that hurt your heart. You belong to me. I don't call you by the name of your defeats. I don't look at you through your losses. I don't see you as someone stuck in the past.
I call you by the name I have known from the beginning, before anyone told you who you should be. I already knew your essence. Before hardships tried to shape your identity, I had already put my mark on your life. Circumstances may try to write chapters, but they will never have the authority to erase that which I have established. My son, imagine a work of art covered in a layer of dust. Those who look at it quickly may think that it has lost its value, but the artist knows exactly what lies beneath that surface. He knows every detail, every trait, and every intention. So, am I with you? You think your wounds have hidden who you are, but I tell you, they have never hidden from me. I know your soul before the masks you had to wear to survive. I know your heart before the fears that came along the way. My word declares, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Revelation 22:13. I know the beginning of your story, and I also know what I am still forming. Nothing surprises him who holds all things in his hands. My word also says, for from him, through him, and to him are all things. Romans 11:36. His life was not born of chance. Its existence is not an accident. You were created with purpose, sustained by love, and led by my presence. I'm already restoring the way you see yourself. I am already removing the limited vision that was born of pain. I'm already showing that you're more than what you've lost, more than what you've faced, and more than what they've been told about you. My son, lift up your eyes, not to deny their history, but to see it through my truth. I didn't abandon you halfway. I was forming you at every step, because I never saw just who you were. I have always seen who you are in me. My beloved son, I have come with you to this final moment, and thank you for staying with me in this message. I know your journey, and I know that every word has found deep places in your heart. Your sojourn reveals persevering faith, sincere pursuit, and a desire to hear my voice. I tell you that there is a spiritual blessing for those who remain to the end. Those who persevere find renewed strength and learn that I never abandon those who trust in me. You didn't get here by chance. I was using this moment to remind you that your life is still in my hands. My son, if this message spoke to your heart, write in the comments, I watched until the end, and also put your city. This simple gesture represents your gratitude and your declaration of faith before me. I see every person who remains seeking hope and truth. Now enjoy this video, share this word with someone who needs to hear a message of hope, and subscribe to this channel to continue receiving words that strengthen your spiritual walk. When you help this message reach another heart, you become a seed of love, faith, and hope in the life of someone who may be in need of a word today. My child, remember all that I have revealed on this journey. You've never been alone. I was present on the days of joy and also on the days of tears. I was in the moments when you understood, and also in the moments when everything seemed confusing. My hand held you up when your own strength seemed to fade. I bless your life, your home, your family, and your paths. May my peace guard your mind. May my presence strengthen your heart. And may my light continue to guide your steps. Do not allow fear to return to occupy the place where I planted hope. Keep walking in faith, because what I started in you continues to be formed by my hands. Your history is not defined by the past, but by the purpose I have placed within you. Allow God to continue speaking to your heart. Take the next step in this journey by watching the next video that will appear here on the screen. In it, we will continue to learn how to live in God's presence and experience the fullness of His plans. Don't stop here because God still has much more to speak to you. Always remember, God is greater, and His presence is our strength. Trust Him, and He will do infinitely more than you can imagine. May God bless your life and see you in the next video. My child, receive this final blessing. May your faith be renewed. May your spiritual eyes be opened, and may you recognize my presence in every detail of your journey. I remain with you today, tomorrow, and all the days to come. Go in peace, carrying in your heart the certainty that you have never walked alone.